Monday, start of a new week, and I hope everyone's having a good week. Everyone's having a start of a good week. And I'm just leaving, you guys familiar with, I know a lot of people who stop by here to chat are familiar with Mayhem and Miracles, Masha's YouTube channel. What a big help she's been for me. Um, just listening. Plus, she's shared out some of my live stream, and I've met some great friends. That alone is invaluable. Just meeting new friends, meeting new connections, the opportunity to chat with new people, always good. But she's chatting about monetizing her channel, and I've talked before that is my goal, sort of, for YouTube. That is sort of weird to talk about. Here's the goal. What I'm doing right now, having a conversation with whomever comes in. Goals met, goals achieved. That was pretty easy. The goal is to be creative, to have a creative conversation, just to talk. Our friend Noble is here, Noble Scrolling Traveler. I had to give the first like and comment, sir. I appreciate that. Let's see. Can you see? I am at 6 hours and 49 minutes in your 12-hour streaming. Of course, this video or this stream is for the 8 hours and 5 minutes. So I'm almost through that, and then I'll have it up and running again. Also helping our good friend C. Payton to help her get her hours up, as well as the new friend, the Ivy and Rich podcast. Getting there some watch hours as well. I tell you what, it's extremely rewarding to do that. To just know you're doing this little tiny thing, but it has a huge payoff for someone else. A little thing for me, having someone up, is a big deal for a friend, a new friend or an old friend. So, hey, why not? Noah says, yeah, I split it up to charge my phone. You mentioned that you were thinking about restarting it anyway to see if you'd get some more people come in. Noah says, did you just go live? Yep, not even 4 minutes in yet. Hymned, I believe. I might be wrong. Homed. Says, hi. Hello, my friend. How are you? Nobu just says, I just reached 900 watch hours, sir. End of the week, by the end of the week, we're going to make sure that you are, that you hit 1,000, that you break the 1,000 mark. Breaking 1,000 is a big deal. You'll have no trouble getting that. And then it's onward to 3. Well, for me, breaking that 2,000 was a big deal. This is Flower, right? I'm on my computer again. So I just broke 2,000. So the next goal, 3,000, you unlock the first. I'm in a hurry to get monetized. I've mentioned before that I'm living on some savings, some money that I inherited, and The goal is not to go back to work, not to go back to my work. Um, I'm fortunate that I also teach meditation and I teach breath work. So, I got a few irons in the fire. Is that still an expression? Flower says, yep, flower here. I knew I recognized it. Noble says, you are amazing for that. My goal is to reach 4,000 watch hours by my birthday, September 14th. You can definitely get it. I want to hit 3,000 by the end of the month. I want to unlock that first level. Figure, you know what, Ed, I worked much of my life in upper retail management. And I stopped. I was doing personal training full time. It was pretty successful. And then I cut back the people that I was training so I could be a better caregiver for my father, have more time for him. And then COVID, and I had to shut everything down. I couldn't bring people into my home and take a chance infecting my father. I didn't want to go to anyone's home and come back and take a chance of infecting my father. And as the pandemic started winding down, and then my father passed away, I didn't feel like at the time I had the heart to restart my business. So I was just I dove even deeper into my meditation and yoga practice, my breath work. I had some issues that I've talked about before. I developed anxiety and panic attacks, surprisingly. When I say surprisingly, because I taught people stress reduction and how to deal with anxiety and panic attacks. And yet here I was going through it. And at first I couldn't admit it to myself. How could someone who, meditate for over 30 years, but, I thought I was done grieving. My body was still grieving. Let's see. Noble says, you're amazing for that. Oh, I already read that. And how is your mother and father? Both have sadly passed away. My mother had Alzheimer's for 10 years. And my father and I and siblings were caregivers. We helped my father, caregivers for my mother. His goal was he didn't want her, he wanted to take care of her as long as possible. He didn't want to have to put her in a facility. Nothing wrong with facilities. They had talked before things got bad, and she didn't want to be there. My father said as long as he could do it, as long as he had help, as long as we could all do it, she would stay home. And she did stay home. She went into the hospital. She fractured a hip, and then she went into hospice. Noble says, I'm sorry to hear about your father. Thank you. My mother passed away in May. I'm sorry to hear that. Such a hard thing to deal with. She was my best friend. I can understand that. That's the way I felt with my father. And after my mother passed away, I stayed in the house with him as his caregiver, which was a relatively easy job because he was pretty healthy up until the last year, and then the last 6 months, things got really bad, congestive heart failure, and I had to be his critical care giver, which was above my pay grade. Didn't know if I could do it, but you step up and you do what you have to do. My father was certainly appreciative, and I was with him. He came home from the hospital last time with hospice care, passed away that night. I was with him. I held his hand. After he passed away, I sat and I held his hand. I meditated. Certain traditions, And even modern science, neuroscience, shows that there is brain activity, consciousness within the body and the brain for an extended period of time. So I wasn't going to leave my father alone. He wasn't going to go through that final stage without me being there. I told that story before. It's an important story for me that I was able to be there. No, but I'm sorry about your mom. That is, it's a tough loss. We had father come in here yesterday into the chat. He lost his daughter a year ago in a train accident in Greece, and still heartbroken. And we did our best to comfort him. Doing your best is still so little. I don't know if you can comfort someone who has lost a child. My preference, honestly, is not to try to comfort someone with words, but to just be a presence. Let them know you can just come here and you can rest, you can be, you can say whatever you want to say, and just know that you're cared for, that you're loved, you're welcomed here. Because words will never really help. Not even the wisest words. I've read the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying, the Katha Upanishads, which is about death. Lots of other books. I've studied other aspects, but it doesn't help. No one knows what happens after you die. We can suspect. I think sometimes during meditation, you get awful close to that threshold. Everything is shut down except for pure consciousness itself. But still, no matter how deep that meditation might be, even for the advanced yogis and Buddhist masters, you don't know. It reminds me when Suzuki Roshi, the Zen master, wrote Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, was asked on his deathbed, what's going to happen to you after you die? And his answer was, I'll be dead. And they said, don't you know, are you going to continue? And he's like, well, how should I know? And they said, well, because you're a Zen master. And his answer was, yes, but I'm not a dead Zen master. It's always going to be a mystery until we're in the mystery. Noble said, you are such a beautiful soul person. Thank you, my friend. I think, you know what? I think all of us are. Actually, I know all of us are. All of us are a beautiful souled person. However, some of us are assholes in our personalities. The key, look beyond the personality. Look beyond the ego. The ego's deluded. It's actually hypnotized. It's hypnotized by, in yoga psychology, they call the kloshas. Klishas, sorry. I had to catch myself. And the klishas are the tools that we use to hypnotize ourselves. We're hypnotized by our attachments, by our aversions, by our fear of death, by our belief that the ego is our true identity, and by the fact that we're ignorant of all that even taking place. And the way to escape the kleshas, one, know that they exist, and two, simply be aware. Through the awareness of that, it all gets lighter, easier. We dehypnotize ourselves. Meditation helps, breath work helps, but in the end, it's all about simply being aware. Noah says, what time do you usually go live and how long do you stay live for? I go live twice a day, and usually about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then again at 5 or so. Unfortunately, I have my friend Flower show up at least once during those. Not always, but she's a pretty reliable friend. As well as our friend Destiny Forever Walks PhD, who is on vacation, but she'll be back tomorrow. Kay Renee's Garden is here. Hey, Yogi and chat. Hello, Kay. How are you? I missed your live stream, Burpee, but I will be watching it. What was the number today, Kay? Oh, Noble says, how long do you normally stay live for? I shoot for an hour. Sometimes I make it an hour and a half. I wouldn't mind trying to go longer. I can guarantee you I will never I'll never break your record. I'll never do a 12-hour. I think my ultra days are over. But yeah, I'd have to start earlier to be able to do that. I have a tight schedule for someone who is unemployed and basically walks, works out, meditates, does yoga. 4 things. You wouldn't think that I would have a tight schedule. Kay said 12. 12 is an excellent number. They're climbing up. This is this for 30 days? Is this for the entire month of April? So does April have 30 days or 31? I should know that as it's my birthday month. Kay said, like and share done. Thank you. I appreciate that. And my friend Flower says, don't forget to hit the like button, everyone. And thank you for that. Flower has learned from the best. She has learned from Destiny Forever Walks PhD, who never fails to remind people of that. And I always forget to say it myself. Kay says, yes, sir. 30 days. That's awesome. So we'll peak at 30, right? Is that how it's going to work? Or it's going to be more than 30? It's exciting. Burpees are no easy exercise at all. So, excellent job. Very impressive, Kay. Our friend Noble is doing burpees as well. Not every day. He's alternating with push-ups. And what he does in his live stream, and he gets a great audience in his live stream, very supportive. Every 10 likes, and he will do 10 push-ups. So, for those who are not subscribed to Noble Scrolling Traveler, for his sake, to help him out, to help him achieve peak fitness, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, subscribe to his channel and make sure you hit the like button when he's live to help him get that peak fitness. We're here to help. Kay said 34. That's awesome, Kay. Noble says, I liked right when I got here. I appreciate that. Yogi, you should teach views how to like more often. Some people might not know how to like. That's true. They might think liking is hitting the hearts. Let them know to thumbs up. Excellent point. That had not occurred to me before. Kay said, very awesome, and I will connect to Noble. I think someone told me this didn't work, but I thought if you clicked on the wrench, right next to Noble, it would provide a link to his channel. But someone said that's not necessarily true. So we can see if that works. If not, what I've been doing is posting a link in the description, so that way people can come. Noble's got a very positive channel where he's a welcoming presence. You come and you hang out, and he gives from his heart. The goal being, hang out and have a good time. Hang out and feel good about yourself. Hang out and help Noble do push-ups. Flower said, I liked live even before I started. Thank you for that. I know I can count on you. Yeah, I, for the most part, have trained myself as soon as I go to someone's channel, the people that I support. I hit that like button. And let's see. And the big thing is, you know, again, the people who stop by, I've been asking them how they're doing and watch hours. And I can plug in and do my best to lend some time from my end. Amazing, you know, it adds up. Like, you know, with Noble, he did a 12-hour session, but he's got an 8-hour video right now. It's just simple enough to have him playing, or anyone else, and then you can click in and you can watch for a while, and then when you go about your business, you just leave it up and running, and it all adds up. Noah says, if you notice in my lives, I randomly tell people to hit the 3 dots. I remember at the top of the stream and click the thumbs up. I've had a couple viewers ask me how to, because they didn't know. It's a really good point. Noah says, he definitely deserves more likes, buddy. Thanks. I always like it when people come in and say, what's this channel about? Or, you're not doing anything? Or, who are you talking to? Are you talking to anyone? A lot of times, I'm still having the same conversation, even if no one pops up. And honestly, I appreciate everyone coming. It means a lot to me. But, yeah, I would still be sitting here having not the same conversation, but I would be having a conversation completely by myself. So what this channel is about is the art of conversation. It actually started off as a meditation teaching page several years ago, as I was finishing off my meditation teacher certification, and I had to share out some videos of me teaching, and YouTube was the best way to do that. And then I decided to use it for my burpees. And then I found myself sort of spontaneously talking about yoga and meditation at the end of my burpee session. And people had questions, so I started going live. And now I'd say that it's a conversation. It's the art of conversation page for me. Art of conversation means you feed off of each other, but at the same time, you continue the conversation even if it's by yourself. That's part of the art. That's part of the navigational skills. You're navigating your own stumbling about. Inspired by, if you guys have ever read On the Road, Jack Kerouac, Neil Cassidy, the king of the beatniks, and his streaming conversations that he would have, regardless if anyone was listening or not. Kay says, I found Noble commented watching a video. Will like as well and comment. Noble says, thanks, Kay. You are amazing for that. I will be live later for another 7 hours today. Wow. That's how to get it done. That's how to get the watch hours. Budweiser guy says, nice. Budweiser guy PH says, nice. Thanks, my friend. And thank you for being here. Noble says, let's get this man to 10 likes for 10 push-ups. I've done my push-ups today. I did Navy SEAL burpees, which are 3 push-ups per burpee. And it was interval day. So 21 minutes on the clock. Go hard for 1 minute, 8 reps a minute for Navy SEALs. And then you take a minute off, but then you go back until 21 minutes are up. And it was 87 Navy SEALs for the day, which makes 360 push-ups, I believe. However, if I get 10 likes, I will do 10 more push-ups. So it'll give me 370 push-ups for the day. Flower says, I saw PH and thought it was Destiny. Destiny will be back tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing her. It is what it is. Speaking of push-ups, speaking of burpees, in my book, it is what it is. It's top of the list in the burpee community. Lewis says, good morning, Eric and chat. Everyone is saying hi. Lewis, sorry. Noble says, hello, it is what it is. Noble, have you ever watched It Is What It Is do burpees? If you get an opportunity, check it out. For one, you'll like the soundtrack. And two, it's just the smoothest reps that you could hope to see. Lewis says, okay, I'll do Navy SEALs today. Happy to hear that. Can't go wrong. You know what? I feel like this entire conversation has served its purpose just to inspire Lewis to do Navy SEALs today. Noble says, welcome, Budweiser guy. Flower says, hi, sir, it is what it is. Noble says, I checked out your channel, it is what it is, and you are fantastic at burpees. Yeah, he's just smooth. You know, everyone has their own style of burpees. Some have like power to spare. If you ever watch Brian do burpees, he looks like when he comes out of that position, he could just defy gravity and keep going. And then there's people like still in the game, Tony Han, or Duncan Walsh, our good friend Duncan, who are explosive. And Lewis is so smooth that you don't notice the explosiveness, you don't notice the power right off the bat, because you're just, it's like liquid, fluid. But in order to be that way, you have to have tons of power and tons of explosiveness. So to be able to have that and do that, but maintain that smoothness, that's what impresses me so much. Lewis says, appreciate you, Noble. And Noble says, everyone don't forget to hit the like video. We are only at 2 likes. I got 4 over here on this end. So I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have to do any extra push-ups for the day. Lewis, I don't know if you heard, If you visit Noble's live stream, he'll be doing one later. For every 10 likes that he gets, he does 10 push-ups. So, as a former personal trainer, I'm committed to the well-being of Noble Scroll and Traveler. You've got to make sure that he at least gets 50 push-ups a day. Minimum. Oh, and he's also been doing some burpees. It is what it is, says, okay, appreciate that very much. It's my favorite part of doing the live streams is when people come together, they make that connection. 99% of the people that come here are always kind and considerate. Every so often, not so much. That's okay too. I honestly don't have a problem with that. I've only barred. I don't know the technical YouTube term for it. One person once, because it was just a continuous spamming, and it was interrupting everyone's conversation. It is what it is, says, I'd rather do 5 pumps than Navy SEALs. Eric, they're so annoying. 5 pumps are your thing, that's for sure. Navy SEALs are tough. You use a lot of muscle in Navy SEALs. You're affecting your core, your leg drive. Can't say they're my favorite. I can't say they're my favorite for sure doing the intervals, because you're using so many muscles at once, you get out of breath quicker. And since I'm doing it all nasal breathing, you really feel like you're suffering all the way through. Noble says, it is what it is. Straight up hops to his feet, then push-up position. Superhero vibes. Definitely. Flower says, I'm making a tiny dragon puppet. That's awesome. Are you doing it for school, or are you doing it just for fun? I like the thought of just making a puppet for fun. I like the thought of doing anything for fun, but especially crafts or art of any kind, or coming on YouTube and having a conversation with your friends. There's a great connection between fun and joy. And joy is different than happiness. Happiness comes and goes. Conditions make us happy. People can make us happy. Thoughts can make us happy. Occasions can make us happy. But they can also do the opposite. Joy itself is something that we can tap into that is ever present, never covered. It can be obscured by thoughts, but when we let those thoughts pass, when we fall into that gap, that ever-present silence between every thought, we hit that level of joy. And yoga psychology, Sanskrit, Sit Chat Ananda, which basically translates to bliss, peace of mind, bliss. We enter that bliss consciousness, which sounds like an achievement, but again, it's ever present. We don't have to achieve it. We don't even have to look for it. We just need to sink into it. And of course, that begins with knowing that it's present. You can't sink into something if you don't know it's there. You're not going to take a jump off the high dive board if you don't think there's a pool underneath, and if you don't think that pool is filled with water. So that's where we run into trouble. And that's why meditation is such a gentle practice. It's like you're dipping your toe into the water. just a bit. But every time you dip that toe, you put a little more, you put the next one, the next one, the next one, until you're fully immersed in the water. The water being an analogy for bliss consciousness, or we could call it soul, we could call it spirit. Doesn't really matter. It is what it is. It is what it is. Says appreciate that very much, Eric. Call it like I see it, Lewis. It is what it is. Says you guys. Thank you all for the kind words. You're all amazing people. They certainly are. It is what it is. Says I'll do those extra push-ups for you, Eric. Hey, I need to hit. I got 5 likes here. I need to hit 5 more likes. And he says, I'll make sure to hit that like for Noble for those push-ups. I forget what, Noble, what was the most push-ups you've done in a session, in a live stream? Noble says, my screen needs to catch up with the counts. Uh-oh, I'm at 6. I don't even have 6 people in the chat. How is that possible? Someone is sending word out. Make the old bald guy do push-ups. That hardly seems fair. Noble says, I do the push-ups live on stream. Doesn't matter if I'm in the middle of a store or a restaurant. As soon as it hits, I drop down and pump out 10. I need to catch you on a live stream when you hit that in the middle of a restaurant. It is what it is, says Brian. 100. Is Brian here? Oh, there he is. Didn't see you sneak in, Brian. Hey, Eric. It is what it is. Noble. Flower is here as well. Under her actual name. If you guys haven't looked on Brian's channel today, he's put out some excellent videos on meditation past 2 days. Really good stuff. Noble says, welcome, Brian. Hope you're all having a great day. Brian says, yeah, I talked to Moses Corvez last night on a live stream. Good person. To someone he wanted to fix their life. And he certainly did turn his life around. It is what it is, says Moses is a warrior, Brian. Started my burpees back in 2020 because of Moses. One of my early inspirations was Max Edwards, Busy Dad, because that's when my father, things started getting really bad for him, and I didn't want to invest a lot of time. I had to cut down on my running and my walking. I stopped racing. I wasn't always sure. Always loved working out every day, but wasn't always sure I was going to be able to get that time. Although my father would always make sure that I did, because he knew, 1, how important it was for me, and 2, you're a better caregiver when you include yourself in that care, because you have more to give. You're more patient. Things just work better. Always include yourself in the care as a caregiver. Meditation, breath work, nature, getting outside, all the things are vital. My experience as a caretaker. So, Busy Dad, 20 minutes. For him, 4 days a week, but again, I wanted to do it every day. So 830 days later, here I am. Of course, we can't forget Burpees King. I think he's at 1,400. Brian says, I think I may get my workout in when the eclipse happens, maybe. Make sure you wear the glasses. Brian says it is what it is, says Brian, that's what I'll be doing. I thought about trying to film it. I don't know if that's possible or not. Brian says, I know, great idea, Lewis. In spiritual traditions, this is the time to do your spiritual discipline. This is time to deepen your prayer, deepen your meditation, deepen your breath work. However, for me, burpees are a form of prayer. It's a full body prayer. How much more can you offer in thankfulness than displaying what you can do with the body that God has given you, that you're moving joyfully. So yeah, I include in yogic and Vedic, it's called sadhana, which translates to spiritual practice. You get to make your spiritual practice. What's spiritual to you? So if burpees are full body prayer, get outside, protect your eyes though, and do the burpees. Noble says, I'm missing the eclipse. I'm in Washington State. How much longer until it happened? It's going on 2 here. Happens at 3:30 Eastern time, I believe. Lewis says, sounds like a good idea, Brian. And if the world ends, then at least I'll be ready. You might be able to outrun it. Spring up from that last burpee and then just take off. Lewis says it's happening now. Double, it has begun. So, yep, they're farther west. And then it'll become an east. Another hour and a half, I guess. A little over an hour and a half. DD says, hi Eric, did you get a chance to check out Dig a D? I did not. I forgot. But I have it primed up, queued up. So I'll be definitely checking it out. Speaking of which, Brian Lane, the song, Epiphany, it's a really good song, really positive song. I appreciate that you mentioning that. Brian says, man, so I messed up when I said I fasted for 25 hours. Apparently the night before yesterday, I got up and opened a peanut butter jar in the night and had a couple of spoons. It's still a long fast, so it was still significant. Noble says, everyone don't forget to hit the like stream. Eric said he would do 10 push-ups for 10 likes. He did say that. And we are at 7 on my end. If I was in the basement, I would do 10 more burpees, but as the title says, I am not just a yogi in his office doing burpees. So I gotta stay true to the title. Oh man, I'm at 8. You guys are tricking me somehow. Last time I did push-ups up here was I joined um, Gus and Aldo and Osiris on one of the Sunday shows, and you got to do a 25 rep buy-in. And I just finished my workout, and they said even if you're talking for 2 minutes, you got to do the buy-in. So I did the buy-in. Didi said I can do about 30. 30 is a good number of reps. Noble says 50 push-ups. Is that the most that you've done in a live stream? Our friend Horror of Spice, Vincent is here. Hey everyone. Vincent, how are you? Brian is asking Noble how he's doing. Noble, you got any games coming up that you're going to be announcing? Noble says, welcome, Horror of Spice. I hope you're having a great day. I hope so too. It's the day of walking day, Vincent. Noble said, I'm doing great. Brian, my sleep seemed solid and my morning seemed pleasant with breakfast. How about you? It's amazing that you did a 12-hour live stream and then you slept so well and feeling so good today. Brian said, hey Eric, I wanted to ask you if you watched my I Am the Woods meditation. Do you think I had a lot on my mind? I'm asking you like you're an experienced monk would know. I did watch it. I thought I commented. It's hard to say if you had, if I could see if you had a lot in your mind. And to be honest, I don't think it matters because that's what the mind does. The mind thinks. But as the meditator, you're the awareness of the thinking mind. You're not the thinking mind itself. So you could say you're cultivating the witness. You're the witness to the thoughts. So it never matters what the mind's doing. You just keep returning to the subject of your meditation, which for you was the I Am the Woods, which means your meditation was completely successful 100% and 100% of the time. Noble says, how are you, Horror of Spice? Are you having a good day? Brian is saying hello to Horror of Spice and Flower. Hey, if you guys like hot sauce, definitely check out Horror of Spice's page. He does great reviews. I'm at 9 likes. This is definitely a setup. I'm not sure I've ever gotten 9 likes before. And there's only 5 people on the live stream. Vincent said, I am well, Noble. Walked another 50 feet. That's awesome. I know that's at least 3 times, probably more. I know 3 times you being here that you've said that. Man, I just hit 10. All right, guys. And I know you need to see it. So I'm definitely doing a Noble Savage traveling. Let me know if you can see it. Everything cool? That was 10. My cat looked at me like I was crazy. All right. Noble says, are you religious? If so, do you pray to? What God do you pray to? It's a good question. There's only one God to pray to in my mind. There's different labels that you can use, different terms, different ideas, belief, faith. God itself, reality, life, doesn't care about labels. God being unconditional, God being love. Unconditional means just that. Everything's accepted. So whatever faith someone is steeped in, whatever faith someone has chosen or has been brought up in, it's the perfect faith for them. No need to change if they're happy with that path. Pray to that version, that vision, that belief. So I can't say I was brought up a Catholic. Went to Catholic school. I was asked to leave Catholic school after my first year in high school. And I love the Catholic tradition. I love the Christian mystics. St. Catherine of Siena, Meister Eckhart, St. John of the Cross, Teresa. But the thing about mystics, they all point to that perennial wisdom, that perennial truth across the board. The same vision that a Christian mystic has is the same vision that a yogic mystic has, or a shaman. Doesn't matter. So I don't belong to an organized religion. I almost had considered being a monk in the Self-Realization Fellowship, set up by a Vedic tradition, founded by Paramahansa Yogananda, but just didn't seem to be the right fit for me. That was an unpleasant 10 push-ups, by the way, after, what did it say? I got 88 Navy SEALs earlier today. So that was a really unpleasant 10 push-ups. And I really think that you guys set me up somehow. I don't know how. I'm not sure how. But I'm pretty sure you did. That's okay. Extra push-ups. Never hurt anyone. That had to be someone's famous last words. Someone famously said, extra push-ups never hurt someone, and then they immediately perished when they did those push-ups. It is what it is, says eclipse is covering half the sun now. It's always amazing. Not yet here. I will be actually doing, I will catch some of it, but I will be doing my meditation when it arrives. Holistic Heritage Homestead. Hello, just a Yogi. Hello, my friend. How are you? Appreciate you being here. And they're saying hello to everyone. Oh, I love speed. Did you see Squidward? No, but you know, I got Google right here. I have Romania up because of our friend Goldie, who lives in Romania, and she got me interested. Hey, did you guys know that Romania has 60% of the untouched original European forest just in their borders? As well, they have, it might be more than that, they have 60% of the brown bear population of Europe. I thought it is what it is. Might appreciate that. Oh, Noble. I know Noble loves bears. So, man, my nose is nowhere near that big. It's the baldness. Hey, on one of the images, it has a link for handsome Squidward t-shirts. So maybe maybe I'll go with that. Yep, don't see it. Our friend Hago is here. Hello, my friend. Lewis says, let's go, Eric. Extra work. There's definitely extra work. Vincent said, looking good. I appreciate that. It is what it is, says easy money, smooth reps. We're working our way towards another 10. I'm at 11. This is not going to be a regular practice for me, by the way. That is 370 push-ups total for the day. Definitely enough. Is that right? Let me make sure. I think I might be. Nope, I'm wrong. I apologize. 264 push-ups. Plus an extra 10. 274 push-ups for the day. Yep. Calculator. Never do math. Horror Spice says, well, off to the sauna. Got to sweat a little. Take care, Vincent. And congrats on the 50 feet. It's getting to be a habit. That's excellent. Noble says, hope all is well. Hago. And Hago says, I'm good, Berga. Thanks for asking. Brian says, I'm getting ready to go work out in a few minutes. So I hope everyone is having a great day. Thanks, Brian. Have a great workout. I Love Speed said, I just subbed. Hey, I appreciate that. And I will definitely return the favor, my friend. Got to find a better place to do push-ups, guys. When I have to do them upstairs. I don't perceive that as being an everyday activity. I'm going to leave that. For one, that's snowballs. I don't want to steal, we all have our thing. My thing is coming here. My thing is being the bald guy. I don't expect anyone else to shave their head and put on glasses and talk for an extended period of times on absolutely nothing. That's my game. Push-ups are Noble's game, so I don't want to infringe on his territory. It wouldn't be the right thing to do. It's got to be an unwritten YouTube channel bylaw somewhere. Hago says, hold on, guys. Got to do something. Brian says, thinking of trying live. I mentioned that. Don't remember if it was earlier today or if it was yesterday. I think you would do a really good live session. And I would definitely be there to support you. Holistic Heritage Homestead, it says, still here, host. Hey, I appreciate that. How's everything going with you? To me, that's got to be one of the most perfect channel names on YouTube. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like it's a welcoming place. Holistic Heritage Homestead. Excellent choice for a title. So, Brian, I do hope you do a live session. And like I said, I will do my best to be there to support. Holistic says, I'm great. Thanks for asking. Working right now, so I've got this playing while working. Well, I hope it helps you pass the time a little easier, quicker, more joyfully. And Holistic asks, how are you, host? I'm doing pretty good until these guys made me do 10 push-ups. That was icing on the cake. So yeah, it gets about a little over an hour, and we'll be getting the eclipse over here, and that will be. I'll catch a little bit of it, but I definitely want to meditate during that. Holistic says, nice, push-ups are great to do. They certainly are. But unfortunately for me, I had already done a whole lot of them earlier in the day. So these were unexpected push-ups. But you're right, even unexpected push-ups are great to do. Pavel, long Russian name, Tatsulin, kettlebell guy. Most people know him as the kettlebell guy. Brought to light the practice of grease the groove. And that's what Noble's doing, grease the groove, where you do not as many push-ups as you can, but 5 or 10 push-ups several times through the day. Flower says, yay, I finally finished the puppet. That's awesome. It's a shame that we won't be able to see it. Unless you do a video of your puppet. Flower is laughing and said, was AFK. I actually don't know what that means for so long. Neville says, dang it, I was just thinking about shaving my head and face and putting on glasses to talk to the chat. It's trademarked. Copyrighted. Although, since I did push-ups, I guess you're given a free pass for one live stream with a shaved head and glasses. But only one. It's always odd, Noble, you had mentioned about religion. How people can get upset talking about different forms of religion, and yet when we talk about spirituality, which is the basis of every religion, almost everyone can have a peaceful conversation. It's only when beliefs about their faith might be challenged that any kind of offense is ever taken. Oh, Flower says away from keyboard. Okay, that makes sense. Wonder why I couldn't figure that out, except for the fact that I'm old. Neville says one live stream, one bald live stream session. Flower says she will start posting in a while. That's awesome. Noble said, since you did push-ups, I will do burpees. And I got to figure out the trick on how you got me 11 likes. Because I don't doubt for a second that you had something to do with that. I think you sent out a text to friends and said, hey, guys, we're going to make this old bald guy do push-ups. It's going to be fun. Noble says, since you did push-ups, I will do burpees. That would be awesome. That's actually a fair trade. We can do that. So, no need to shave your head. You found a loophole. Noble says, I think it was asking for it a bunch in the chat. Definitely got me there. I was so smug. I was so self-assured that it wasn't going to happen. But it did. Noble says, I might have annoyed the chat too much, and they like to shut me up. That doesn't seem right. They punish me to get you to shut up. That's sort of like a slight on both of us. Brian says, won't be able to do live now. It says I have to wait 24 hours. Huh, I never heard of that. Well, that's good. It gives you till tomorrow. You could sort of. I never come here. I don't know, Noble. Do you ever? Do you have something in mind when you do your live sessions, or do you just start? I seldom have anything in mind. In the evening sessions, I sometimes like to read from my blog, but that's not always guaranteed anymore. But I don't have anything planned. I think some people that might work best. Brian, I think that because of your experience, because of your interest, from fitness to meditation to breath work to fasting to recovery, you could just show up and start talking, and I think it's going to flow. I don't think you need to plan anything out. Maybe have a general topic, hey, today, guys, I'd like to talk about recovery. Tie it all together. I'd like to talk about meditation and recovery, how it helps me, how breath work helps me. Our friend Squirrel Sniper is here. Greetings, beautiful souls, from across the pond, under the same sky. How are you, Sniper? Brian says I have to go through my account first. See, that never occurred to me. I just started going live. Didn't know I was supposed to do anything special. Nibble says that's hilarious. Flower says, my computer battery is so bad. I started out at 100 and now 12. Wow. Yeah, that's not good. Nibble says, I usually make a poll, and people ask about the poll. They want to talk about it, but that's about it. Making a poll takes about a minute. It's the plus sign at the bottom middle of the screen. Interesting. I don't know what I would poll, though. You have interesting polls. I'm not sure if I would have anything like that I could add. Not in the same creative way that you do. Sniper says, really great. Fixed my car. Back to working mode. Awesome. Hey, when do you start your quest? You mentioned the other day that you're going to be doing a quest soon. Noble says, that's the only thing I do. It's a good way to open up a conversation, though. And then, of course, you flow in all directions. And I try to have that same approach myself, that I don't always want to force my agenda in any conversation. I came here to talk about meditation, and damn it, that's what we're going to talk about, whether you guys like it or not. I fit it in the conversation. I might fit it in repeatedly, much the same way you did with making me do push-ups, Noble. But I want to be loose and flexible with it, and I want to drop it for the sake of the conversation, for the sake of the flow. Noble says, welcome to Squirrel Sniper. Squirrel Sniper says to Flower, I'm glad it resonated with you. Noble says, my last two polls were, do you think the moon landing was fake? I saw that one. Do you think the Earth is flat? No, that's the one I saw. Do you think the Earth is flat? How many people thought that the moon landing was fake? Flower says, you can say flower, squirrel. Noble says, Squirrel Sniper got very deep in the poll question. I could tell he enjoyed debating it. I could see Sniper liking that question. Flower is on 9. The power is going down. Noble said 25% thought the moon landing was fake. The question I always ask for people who think it might be fake, I'm never sure to what end would it be faked? For what purpose? They never really got a satisfying answer. It seems people never considered that. Sniper says, I gladly debate with open-minded people, but when I get a question as an answer, it's not a debate. That's true. I very much enjoy conversations with Squirrel Sniper. I think that on most things, we agree. There might be some points where we diverge, but it's always been so interesting that I love hearing the views. Absolutely. Flower says she needs to leave. Sorry. And she says, bye, mate. I hope you get some power. I'll be shutting this one down soon. I'll be back at my normal time, about 5. Holistic Heritage says, explain why. I think they faked it, but it would take a while. Well, wish I had more time. Definitely will be getting ready to start my meditation right before the eclipse. I would be interested, though, in hearing that. Next time you have an opportunity to pop in, I want to remember to ask you that right off the bat. Squirrel Snipper said, when four go for a walk and talk, I will always be the teacher. Hey, Flower is back, this time under the Flower banner. And Holistic says, I prefer debates in person. Online is a horrible way to debate. Yeah, I would agree with that. Rarely do people get a fair chance to volley and intellectual debate. It takes time to debate and should be done properly. As well, I think people are more apt to take an ugly turn. Not everyone, of course, but some people. Online, it's easier to do that because you don't have to deal with the consequences of it. You don't have to see how someone feels. You don't have to have the emotional effect of when it turns in that direction. And a quick correction from Holistic, volley, and intellectuals. Squirrel Sniper says, one will always be the teacher. Flower says, battery here is 10%. But this is a better battery, so it should be good. We're going to talk for about 5 more minutes. Noble said, seemed like most people thought the moon landing was fake because NASA wanted to see how much they can deceive people. See? Just bring it up, started a conversation people wanted to engage in. Interesting. But that really doesn't answer the question, though. To what point do they want to deceive people? It's NASA. It's not like it's CIA or the FBI or Homeland Security or, you know, where there might be, I'm not saying there is, there might be a vested interest in manipulating people. You could say, well, it's still a government agency, but I don't know. I don't have a, I almost said dog in a fight, but I catch myself using those analogies. Squirrel Sniper says, but that's even worse, is you're not being yourself. Let's see. Holistic says it's a pejorative misnomer given a conspiracy theorist used to preemptively discount or discredit someone's opinion. I can say there are many people who are not. All right, we'll see how that finishes. Flower says, I really hope we get power back. I hope so too. Squirrel Sniper says NASA's class is military. I don't know if I knew that. Interesting. I was 4 years old and watched it on TV. I'm not sure they had the technology back then. Who knows? What I find pretty funny is the government in the late 1950s and early 60s doing experiments with and often unsuspecting, with LSD. And then the people who were experimented on had these mind-expanding experiences, and that became the counterculture movement of the 1960s, completely backfiring on what the CIA had wanted. They wanted submission, hypnotizing, controlling, and they got hippies. Of course, many of those hippies nowadays are run-of-the-mill, straight and narrow, uh, closed-minded people. So hey, maybe it worked. Noble says, I believe it happened, but there are good points on the sides that don't believe it happened. Makes me wonder. Holistic said, Stanley Kubrick, look up his involvement. Huh, interesting. Luna or Harper is here, saying hi. Hello, my friend, how are you? Flower is welcoming Luna. Welcome to the live. Thank you, Flower. Cypress said, I spent about 8 months researching MK Ultra and associated projects in the 70s. Lista says, anything I believe I've landed on, pun intended, requests lots of research. I never try to find information that is backed up my bias. It's not what I do. Want to debate. I relish a good debate. Personally, I'm not really fond of debates. I don't hold so firmly to my. I entertain uncertainty as a practice, and I don't hold to my own opinions or confirmations or biases at all. What I'm always amazed is the biggest conspiracy theory of them all is the one that we play on ourselves, of not knowing who we truly are, because we don't engage in that self-inquiry of asking ourselves, who am I? And that I've mentioned earlier in the conversations, the 5 kleshas that they talk about in both yogic psychology and Buddhist psychology engage the mind, hypnotize us. We have our aversions, we have our attractions, we have our fears, and we have our ignorance of all that happening. And yet we go through life firmly convinced that what we think is correct because we think it. And that every opinion is just a collection of those thoughts. Every belief is just a collection of those thoughts that have never ever been questioned. Katie Bryan has a wonderful form of self-inquiry where we simply ask ourselves, is this true? Can you absolutely know for certain that it's true, without a shadow of a doubt? And then we take it farther with, who would you be if you didn't have that thought? Let me Google that up real quick. The 4 questions. So in my uncertainty, or in Zen Buddhism they'd call it the don't know mind, it allows for possibilities throughout the board without having to cling to any specifics at all. So yeah, I spend not a whole lot of time on other conspiracy theories except for my own. Let's see. Luna says, thank you, Flower. Flower is always great at welcoming people. Squirrel Sniper says, Space 2001 came out 1 year before as pre-programming. Flower says, you're welcome. Holistic said, I just prefer not to debate online. Again, I do really encourage people to do research regarding the supposed new landing. They always say truth is stranger than fiction. What always worries about me is confirmation bias researching. Are you looking to be proven right? Because we can always find it. I never have any skin in the game, as I mentioned. So, doesn't harm other people. And if it doesn't harm you, if you're happy with your belief system, it's not for me to question it. It's not for me to say someone is right or someone's wrong. But there's plenty of other people who will do that. That's why it's a relief for me. I don't need to take on that role. Someone else will always be there to do that. Flower says it's hot and the water is room temp now. I'm sweating. Wow. Still a little bit on the cool side here, although we had a really nice day. Flower says, wait, do you know how to speak Burmese or just a little of it? I'm curious. I do not know how to speak Burmese. Not even a little bit of it. Squirrel Simper says exactly. When I found out that woolly mammoth hairs as a hollow identical to the gorilla, our educational system has a whole separate agenda. Squirrel Snipper says hollow hair to cool from the tropical climate, yet where they're found in the ice. And that when NASA's own footage shows them faking them, taking the classic blue marble shot halfway to the moon, they had it faked as they were in low orbit. Interesting. Sometime, we'll be calling it a day in a minute. Sometime, Sniper, remind me to ask you if you know anything about the Philadelphia experiment. I'm going to Google that real quick. Happened on a ship. Sort of interesting. Squirrel Sniper says the footage was released for a documentary by mistake. It's called Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. It's here on YouTube. And Flower says, hello in Burmese. Minga Laba. Minga Laba. Pretty. I like that. So, we got the eclipse starting now. So, I'm going to put on my glasses, pop my head outside, and then I'm going to meditate. Remember, any breath work, according to certain yogic traditions, any spiritual practice is magnified by quite a bit under the eclipse. So if you meditate, perfect time to meditate. If you pray, if you do breath work, if you do yoga, you could do the sun salutation. Perfect time to do it. So if you guys get a chance to see it, I know we're all over different parts of the world. I don't know if I'm going to try to film it or not. We'll see. I do want to remember to put on glasses. Squirrel Semper says, cloak invisibility came back with bad consequences with the crew. One crew member jumped ship. Yeah, I remember reading about the bad consequences. It's been a long time. I'm trying to think of the author's name. Good author. Frizzle? Bob Frizzle, I believe. And it's been probably 20 plus years since I read the book. I read it in the 90s. But pretty interesting. So, guys, appreciate you being here. I appreciate you guys making me do extra push-ups. Squirrel Sniper, always interesting to have conversations with you. And Heritage, I appreciate you contributing as well. I appreciate you being here. And I'm in your camp. I don't like debating online. I love having conversations and discussions. And I've been really fortunate that people like Squirrel Sniper just wants to share information, just wants to have a discussion. Never had a debate one way or the other with Squirrel Sniper, because I'm always interested in what he has to say, as well as I am with you, my friend. Luna, thank you for being here. Flower, of course, always. My friend Noble Savage. Noble, I don't know why I call you Noble Savage. Noble Scrolling Traveler. Thank you for being here. I love speed. Appreciate you being here too. Brian Lane, it is what it is. All great guys. Very much appreciated. So, hey guys, I'll be back later tonight. If you got nothing to do, come on by. Make sure Noble is going to be going live. So check him out. Hang out with Noble. I'm interested in seeing what the poll is going to be. Maybe we got another controversial subject coming up. You know what the poll should be, Noble? Should you make your host do push-ups? That should be the poll. Should you make your unsuspecting host do push-ups after he's already done a buttload of push-ups? Chris K, my friend, getting ready to end the live stream session. My apologies. I'm glad you're here. You're in my thoughts, my friend. You're in my prayers. I send out nothing but love for you. And I see that you said you got back to work. I'm happy. I'm happy that you're here, that you stopped in, that you got back to work. I'll be back this evening, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I know you're not here in the country. I don't know what time it will be. But if you want to, you just want to be in a presence that's holding you, wishing you well, I will be there for you. So with that, Chris says, I'm happy I finally see this channel again. Thank you. And I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy you stopped by that night and shared your story, shared your grief with all of us, and that we could all hold you and that we could all be there for you in whatever way that we could. Chris K says, you're a great person. I'm a person. And I've grieved. And in my grief, that allows me to open up to someone else's grief and be there in any way that I can. And I'll continue to do so, my friend. So with that, I will see you. If you get a chance, come by this evening. You're in my thoughts and prayers, my friend. Very much so. Chris K said I subscribe to you. Thank you. Very much appreciated. If you leave a comment so I could see your have a link for your channel, and I will make a point to subscribe back, and we can continue these conversations as much as needed. So thank you again, my friend. Take care.